Just wondering, now that the season is completely in the rear view, how would you sort of evaluate the steps that the team took and maybe where you feel you guys fell short of what your expectations were?
Yeah, we definitely fell short. We had high expectations for ourselves, and everybody was not quite where we needed to be quite yet. But yeah, there's steps we took in the right direction. You could see some of our key players took big steps in the right direction. I think Fitzy and those guys will probably address some things with you guys, and then moving into the summer on their own, kind of behind closed doors. But overall, as the season went on, obviously it was a tough year. We're not in the playoffs again, but there is pieces in place that we keep saying that we're going to have to stop saying that, starting pretty much now. That the pieces are in place to take that next step and not be going home this time of year.
That was part of my follow-up, is when does it no longer become acceptable to say we're a young team, we're still learning, you've got to now execute on that. So do you almost feel that the expectations next year are even higher because of how this season went?
Absolutely. I think you have to set the expectations higher, and you want to set them as high as possible for every year, but you have to be realistic as well. And we knew in the past year or two that we are where we are, and that's kind of what it is. You still hope for the best, and you still want to overachieve, but we definitely underachieved these past few years. But next year, if we're standing here talking this time of year when other teams are gearing up for the playoffs, then it would be a huge disappointment, and it just wouldn't sit well with anybody, I think, in this organization compared to where we've been in the past few years. But this is it now. There's no more let's look forward to the first round draft pick. Like now it's time to let's look forward to getting ready for playoffs this time of year.
Does it feel like the line of we're still a young team have to be in the rearview mirror?
Yeah, and I think even our young players have to take pride in that, just saying we're not a young team anymore. Our age might say we're young, but we can't play like it, we can't act like it. We have to take the steps, and where it's age at that point is just a number. We got to take the pride in wanting to prove the people wrong that keep wanting to say, oh, they're going to be there in a few years. It's still a few years yet. Like you can't just keep pushing it down the line, because Father Time catches up to everybody, and then what happens when these guys are 27, 20 years old and they're still pushing it, and then the next first round picks come. It just doesn't work that way. So the rebuild, or per se, is hopefully is over now, and it's time to starting training camp next year, all season. I'm looking forward to hopefully not having these conversations with you at this time of the year. We'll be talking about the playoffs.
Will you go to Worlds?
I am going to go to Worlds. Yeah. I got asked to Worlds, so I'm going to leave Saturday over to Finland, and hopefully I got a teammate or two more that may get asked, I've been told. So I'll leave that up to them if they've been asked. I haven't been confirmed yet. So and a couple more guys thinking to play for their countries as well. So I look forward to seeing teammates over there for different countries, and then hopefully a few more of my own on Canada as well.
So big summer for Damon Severson, because I know you're also getting married, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit hectic because the month of May is now taken up by Worlds. Got a house we just built to move into, and then we're getting married at the end of June, my fiance and I. So it's busy summer, and we have a few more friends' weddings we have to attend, grooms and bridesmaid. So it'll be fun though. We're looking forward to it, and then come August, hopefully we can get things dialed in again and get ready for next season.
Thanks, Heavy.
Do we have any questions from the Zoom attendees for Damon?
Yeah, I can take one beat.
Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, Damon, obviously, going into next season will be your last year in your contract there. I'm wondering if you look at this as a situation where you need to see the growth in there, or are you pretty optimistic to, maybe look at signing or looking into contract options this summer?
It's a little bit out of my control with me having to wait for my phone to ring. I'm not a UFA. I still have a year left. So I've had the conversations with Fitzy about my year. I've had the conversation with Lindy, teammates as well. And I don't know what's going to happen because, again, I'm not a free agent at the end of this year. But overall, I'd be more than willing to chat with Tom Fitzgerald about a contract extension if that's the case, if he doesn't see fit. It's his team. It's up to him. But the messages has been relayed to them that if they're interested in keeping somebody like me, I've been here my whole career. I see myself as part of the solution to this hockey team to be a playoff team and to be a contender. So it's really just comes down to proving that, showing that, and then just ultimately the people behind closed doors making the decisions. They'll decide, and if my phone rings, then obviously I'd be more than willing to negotiate. But as of right now, it's you can't say anything because I think free agency is a little later this year, and they got their other stuff to deal with, the draft, everything else. So, but again, I'm more than happy to be talking contracts to extend with this team with some of the key players we have, and some conversations I've had with guys like Nico and Jack and Brader and some of these guys. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting the opportunity to be together with these guys for a lot longer.
And what was your assessment of some of the younger defensemen that came up towards the back few weeks of this season?
I thought they were pretty solid. Like guys, I guess that come to mind would be Okatiuk had a couple. I don't know if I pronounced his name properly. Sorry if I didn't, but he had a couple solid games there. He scored, got an assist. Played some solid hockey. He's a good defender as well. He plays hard, not afraid to be physical. Ball was here for a bit. He's a big guy. Played a solid game. As long as he keeps his game simple, he's going to be an effective player for us, especially on the penalty kill and just the long stick. Just keeping his game simple and getting the puck up to the forwards and just being that support guy back there. I think, who else am I missing? Walsh had a couple games. He looked pretty good the way he moves the puck. Confident guy with the puck. And then I'm sorry about if I'm missing anyone else, but I feel like there is some young guys down there, and I hope they go on a long playoff run with our AHL team because that would be great for their confidence and great for their future.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next questions go to Mike Morreale, NHL.com.
Hey, Damon. First off, congratulations and have fun at your wedding in June. So.
Thank you.
Lindy Ruff this year, Damon. I know you played 80 games this year. You had career highs across the board. Was Lindy a big part of that? And if so, in what way?
Well, offensively, he doesn't try to have you squeeze your stick tight. He doesn't try to, take the stick out of your hands per se. He lets you play offensively, and a big thing is defense. Is a commitment. Defensively you can be shown things, and you can always improve on defense. But offensively is more of a gifted thing, I feel like. So he trusts guys. Again, not to go back to all of our skilled guys and pump their tires too much, but guys like Brader, Jack, and some of the guys who put up big numbers this year, and they're going to continue to put up big numbers. Lindy lets these guys play, and I was a big part of that. Whether it's power play or 5-on-5 play or overtime, you feel like you have that freedom to let your instincts take over, and I give Lindy credit for that because some coaches are a little tighter when it comes to offense and making plays. But overall, if you look at the way Lindy lets us play offensively and doesn't have us squeezing our sticks too tight or worried about making a play, that definitely helps the skilled guys and the guys who have that offensive gift.
Is it hard to fathom, Damon, that you just completed your 8th NHL season and have only 4 playoff games to show for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
Sorry, no, I not mean to cut you off. Yeah, it is. It's frustrating for sure, and that goes into my decision on wanting to play for the Worlds. Losing it makes you sick. Losing all these games and getting a chance to play for your country in Canada. That's a solid country who's had some success at the world stage. Just that fire. You want to win some games. You want to be on a winning team, and you want to be a part of a winning team. So. That definitely went into it, and I got a busy summer ahead, as I've stated, but playing in the Worlds when the call and the opportunity presented itself is just the pride you take and just wanting to be a winner and wanting to be, on a team that can really do some damage and feel good about your game.
Thank you, Mike. Our next questions go to Dan Rice, Pucks and Pitchfork.
Thanks. Hey, Damon, I'm just curious. You mentioned you want to stay here. I'm curious, does that mean a lot to you to be somebody that can stay with a team for the duration of your career? And you see all the other Devils, legends that have stayed with the team for the durations of their careers. Is that something that's important to you?
I think it's something I can take pride in for sure. Obviously, again, it's out of my control. I look at guys, like you said, I don't think I'm anywhere near in the class of some of these Devils legends that, maybe have their number of tires and played their whole careers here. But you look at a recent like Trav, Zajac, and what he did for the organization, and obviously he finished his career at the Islanders, but he was here for his whole career. I think he makes his full-time home here now. He's got his wife and kids love it here, and they really enjoy being part of the New Jersey community and just being Devils really for life is what it comes down to. And When the time comes to make those decisions, then we'll address that. But it's something for sure that I think a lot of people should take pride in playing in the league. It's very rare that it happens, it seems, these days. They always kind of say everyone gets traded at least once in their career, but if that never happens for me, great. But again, it's something that if I'm a good hockey player and I help a team win, then you're wanted, and that's the biggest thing, is you want to feel wanted on a team, and you want to show that team that you're worth the well.
Just to follow up on that, you're a Western Canadian kid. What have you enjoyed about living out here on the East Coast, especially with New York City being right across the river?
Yeah, it's cool, and to be very honest with you, in my first few years, I missed it out west. I was homesick a little bit, and I just was so used to the West Coast and the time and everything. So, when I would play junior out there, we'd be getting to the rink, and all the games would be starting because of the 3-hour time difference out east here. For, we'd watch some NHL hockey before our games. We'd watch the first period just to kind of check that out. So that was always fun doing that. But the East Coast is great as well. I'm still a big West guy, but being out here for the winters, and obviously it's a little different with the humidity and everything, and the way the cold pierces your skin is a little bit different than maybe the West with the wind and the dryness. But it's grown on me a lot. It's a place that I have no problem, wanting people coming out here to visit me and spending some time here with family and friends. And I've had nothing but good memories away from the rink, and I hope to make a lot more great memories at the rink and some winning hockey for the Devils down the line.
And the road trips are a lot easier too, I would assume.
Travel is definitely a key thing for sure, and especially, as seasons wear on, you get back-to-backs. It's a key thing for sure, the travel.
Thank you, Damon. I appreciate it. Have a great summer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Do we have anything further for Damon?
All good.
Sevy, have a good summer.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, you guys too.